Wagwan, Suzette Speaks here. It is a beautiful Saturday in Miami, Florida. And I want to talk to you today about a little bit of the World Championship track and field competition that's been going on. If you're like me, I really enjoy track. I watch it every year, whether it's an Olympic year or World Championship year. And this year, this has been the Golden Girl, the comeback story, the lady of, I think, the meet. Sha'Carri Richardson comes away as the 100-meter winner for the women's side. And her counterpart, Noel Lyles, brings it home for the Americans on the male side. But Sha'Carri Richardson has become a kind of flashing, what do they call it, lightning rod when it comes to track and field because of the tumultuous journey she took to this point. Now, if you watch the final, if you haven't seen it, go back and look up on YouTube this final race. It was a daunting task that she had. She had a rough semifinals going through the rounds. When she finally made it to the final round, it was based on her time. She was a time qualifier. That means the top two in each race gets to move forward. And she was one of the slower times. And so she didn't win her semifinal heat. She ended up qualifying based on time. So with a lane 9 draw on the outside, she was very, what should I say? The odds were against her. She was an unlikely heroine. And no one has ever won a 100-meter final, whether male or female, after qualifying for the final by time only. Well, she proved the history books wrong, came away beating the top two lady sprinters from Jamaica. That includes Shelly-Ann, Fraser-Price, as well as Sherika Jackson. And if you watched it like I did, I was screaming, I was yelling, I was trying to get my ladies in the middle, hello Jamaica, to run a little faster. But it wasn't meant to be. It was Sha'Carri's moment, and people have a problem, especially if they're representing for JA, with how the ladies finished. We're going to get into it, whether or not they ran through the finish line. And, was it just meant to be? Was it just Sha'Carri's moment? And how did you feel about the race? Did you peg her to win it all? Did you see it as something that the Jamaicans gave up on? Because again, they were both Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price and Sherika Jackson in the middle, looking at competing against one another. And then all of a sudden, out of the side of they cast an eye to the right-hand side and saw Miss Sha'Carri Richardson cross the line first in these World Championships. So I am grateful that you're here. I want to welcome you. I'm simulcasting today with my partners and co-hosts, Jamaicans.com on their Facebook page. We're live. I want you guys to come in, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. Leave a comment in the chat about what you think about the Golden Girl, Sha'Carri Richardson, coming to her first World Championship meet and winning the gold against veterans from Jamaica, Sherika Jackson and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price. Now, there's so much I can say about this race. The age difference between Sha'Carri and the other two ladies. Of course, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price has been doing this for 10 plus years now or more. Based on, how her experience matriculating through the Jamaican system has led her to become a world champion. She won in several Olympic games. She's how many medals now? Just so many medals, and came in looking very good. We thought the Jamaicans had a very strong chance, but Sha'Carri has something to say about that. She ran the race of her life and beat the Jamaicans, and it was such a surprise for many who were watching it. Let's see. There are people that are already in the chat with the controversy. Let me see what Kate was talking about. I wouldn't be surprised at some point. Are we already saying that this is a total allegation, unproven? No, I don't want to promote it unless it's factually based, right? But her opinion, thank you, Kate, for being here and for lending me your voice and letting us know how you feel here on Jamaicans.com. But again, Suzette Speaks here. Hit the like button. If you're watching me for the first time, I want to welcome you. I go live on Saturdays, so please make sure you look out for the stream. You can always hit the notification bell or RSVP yes on Facebook so you'll know that we're live. I'm going to talk about the 100-meter World Championships. After you hit the like button, do me a favor and share. We are talking about Sha'Carri, the comeback kid. Remember what happened with her in the 20 or preparing for at the time the 2020 Olympics. Now, Sha'Carri was disqualified from competing for the United States because she at that time had tested positive for cannabis, right? It was a big deal, international headline. She was running very well. And, she comes from Texas. She has been an outstanding collegiate athlete. So everybody anticipated her joining the Americans in Tokyo, but it was not meant to be. There was a ruling by the athletic board in charge that said basically no. She had tested positive. She had done a series of interviews. But what has really been most striking about Sha'Carri Richardson has been her unapologetic presentation of who she is and what she believes. I would say I have enjoyed the growth I've witnessed in her from that first interview from way back in, it seems like ages ago, 2019, when she was first kind of confronted with the world stage, which is a very big playing field. And your every word has an impact, right? And how she said it, how she looked, right? Brash and very colorful, reminiscent of a FloJo, if we're not, being overly presumptive. But the look, the eyelashes, the long nails, the wigs. She came to the track in style, ready to represent as her own, personal expression goes. But when she first touched that track, it wasn't really all about, the work in terms of winning. But she had a lot to say early on. And again, it probably, gave some people, unfavorable impression of her. There was, of course, the backlash online. People struck out against Sha'Carri and she needs to worry about running and come off of the big chat, as Jamaicans will say. And, it was a rough period for her. I had much empathy for her because I don't think she was adequately prepared for the press side when it comes to winning and losing and what to say. Obviously, I'm big on media training. Athletes need it too. But Sha'Carri, has seen the other side of the coin in the 2023 Budapest World Championships. She came through when it mattered. So I'm going to ask you a question. Is she the best female sprinter in the Not hear me in the USA. This is me in Miami. Sorry. In the world. Sorry. Let me rephrase. Forgive me. Is she the best sprinter in the world right now? Now we're going to get to the 200 in a second, folks. I was screaming just as loudly watching the 200-meter final yesterday. I want to know what you think about this woman. Again, she has been so polarizing. She came in like a bolt, not my Usain Bolt, but like a bolt of lightning, lit up the track, both in terms of her aesthetic as well as, her early races. And, not being able to go to the Olympics because of testing positive for cannabis at the time was like a heart-wrenching leg of her journey, right? It was really, really sad. People were coming after her. So to see now, as she said in her one of her, I think, semifinal interviews, actually it was probably the first qualifier. It wasn't semi. She said the world, turned on me, turned their backs on me. So I'm not really worried about what the world thinks. That's in her post-race interview in the early rounds of the 100 when trackside commentator Lewis Johnson was asking her, what is she want to say to the world? She's like, I'm not worried about the world right now. It's the freest I've ever heard her speak about putting other people's expectation of her aside and focusing inward, who I am and who I personally am doing this for, right? Finding the inner strength to, kind of quiet the noise. I think she's up to, I forget how many million followers now on Instagram since this world championship win. She is looking better than ever. Oh yeah, let me give you a shout out first. But before I get to some of my thank yous, I had a wonderful show yesterday, guys. I'm at 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. So if you're watching me on Facebook, please feel free to go over to YouTube and hit the subscribe button. You can just look me up, Suzette Speaks. Hit the like button, why don't you? I see a lot of you watching live. Welcome. If you're watching on the repeat, on the replay, team replay, hit the like button as well. Leave your comments afterwards. I'm grateful for all of you being here, enjoying this beautiful day. I am going to be hanging out in the streets of Miami in a little bit, and I'm going to, enjoy. I think the track and field, it will be starting shortly. Some of the races now I think are like decathlon, and we're going to talk about some of the other Jamaican athletes as well that won in their respective races. But I want to hear what your thoughts are about Sha'Carri. Welcome, Andrew. Big up yourself. Said I'm proud of the bossy Yankee. Listen, we go. One thing about Jamaicans, we love a little bit of, which I say they love to. The word I want to use is joke you, which is like to rib you. And to kind of like jostle a little bit jokingly and call out your shortcomings as well as show you respect. Congratulate, giving you also your congratulatory, what should I say? I can't think of the words, guys. I'm like drawing a blank, but to give you your props is what I want to say. Hit the like button, says RM. Welcome. Congratulatory sentiment. Let me go that way. Let me see. Let me read what you guys have to say. Sha'Carri deserved it, says little Ernest. She stayed humble. Okay, she wasn't as humble right at the beginning, but in the last, couple years, she's learned, right? Stayed humble and kept working hard, and it shows with the trophy. Great win for America. Okay, giving her props. Thank you, RM, for being here. She says, put your location in the chat. Big up yourself. Let's see. Cosley Edwards, welcome, says, let's not be negative about Sha'Carri. I wanted my Jamaicans to win, but a win is a win. Hello, let's congratulate the winner until here we go, y'all on the science until the science moves. Otherwise, I'm not gonna read between the lines. Andrew said he loved when she pull off the wig. She didn't wear any wig. She wore braids this time around. She didn't wear any wig, right? She was in more of a natural state. She's again flamboyant when it comes to her nails. Again, a little unorthodox. We've seen nails in track before, but super, super long, like claws looking. I think is what they called nails. And again, with the hair and the wig. And then to qualify to come to the World Championship, she threw off the wig at the starting block for her 100 to qualify to go to the World Championship. And she was like, I let them know something new, rebirth. It was very dramatic when the camera rolled by, the lineup, when everybody started standing at the starting block and she's there. It was crazy. She was like, bah, 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 bah. And I think she looked better with the braids anyway. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a hater. The braids was pretty. She's a pretty girl, I think her facial features, bone structure, she has good bone structure. So sometimes the extra here and here, well, I love my hair too, but heck, too much. Even Sherika Jackson running in her natural Afro puff, I admired it. She looked lovely. So we got to feel, different feelings and sentiment. I want to know what you guys think. She may be a flash in the pan, but listen, Cosley said she's the woman of the moment. Are we talking Sha'Carri Richardson and what happened in Budapest, Hungary, and how she came out on top? Well, I wanted to say thank you. As you guys can see, I have had a wonderful run so far on my YouTube side. I thank you on the 5K. I have a 5,000 plus now. I think it's like 5,050 getting there subscribers. And I wanted to thank you guys. I just did a stream on my YouTube channel saying thank you. Couldn't have done it without you. I'm appreciative of all the ups, all the downs, all the ways in which you guys have supported me. Shout out to the Nutrition Lawyer. Nutrition Lawyer was my sponsor on the Cash App. Right now, I'm demonetized on YouTube. Long story. I'm not going to get into it here. But the God, thank you. The appreciation I have for those who support, who donate, who in any way contribute to this platform is just, it's unending, right? From the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you. I did a whole show on it. Go back and watch it either on my Facebook page, Who That Speaks. But we're talking the championships today. What happened with Sha'Carri? I'm going to get to Sherika Jackson. Don't worry. I'm going to get to the 202 and some of the other Jamaican side winners because we are co-hosted today by Jamaicans.com. Thank you guys for hosting me as always. If you want to support on the Cash App, you know what it is. Cash App is open, although I don't have super chats right now. But I have a huge landmark and I'm grateful. Guys, thank you, thank you, thank you. All of you who support. If you're on the Facebook side, once again, go ahead and head over to YouTube, look me up, Suzette Speaks, and subscribe. That would be, amazing if you would support. But let me get out of the 5,000 subscribers. But I'm going to boast a little bit, baby. I'm happy about that. Don't worry about it. And I appreciate each and every one of you again. But we're getting back into track and field. So what do you think about Sha'Carri's win? Again, looking at the race as I'm a person who is very, very, I guess, into, right? I wouldn't call myself an expert, but I've been watching track and field forever. Love the sport. And what I guess now has become an international recognition is that Jamaica and its sprinters are not to be, underestimated. We've had, the likes of the great, the legendary, the, once in a lifetime hero, Usain Bolt. And because he's so good, we sometimes forget about all the other wonderful sprinters. I won't forget about the Asafa Powells. I won't forget about the Johan Blakes, the young man who he came in fourth. I'm looking. Oh, Oblique Seville, and there's so many wonderful athletes that sometimes we focus on the bigger names. So we're gonna recognize a few of the other wonderful winners and second and third place medalists in this World Championships. But this is a big deal because the rivalry. Not only are the reputations of the Jamaican sprinters, solidified, I think, in the world psyche. This idea that the United States is always just a step behind, whether it has been in the relay races where we've had, bad baton passes or, just not being able to get in front of such legendary runners such as a Usain Bolt and a Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price. Veronica Campbell. I could keep going, guys. When I think about the history, the rich history, and it's very hard to maintain this level. That's why I always want to give props to Shelly. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price is 34 years old and a mother. So for your body to keep operating at this type of optimal level and for you to train it and for it to remain healthy enough for you to exercise this, level of talent and preparation, you can't underestimate the dedication that goes with it and like just the sheer, the person is just, very special. They train hard, but the mechanics of your body working the way it does so that it performs at this level. That's why even guys, I you remember the clip of the lady, I forget what country she came from, that was in the race illegally. Goodness gracious. Was she from Somalia? God forgive me. I don't want to say the wrong the wrong country. But the way a normal person would look next to these women and men is just wonderfully, highlighting of the immense talent that we witness when we're watching them run. So when you put a normal person next to them, everybody is fast. So one person looks, half a second or a second slower during sprinting. But you and I are not even at this point, even our best shape, capable of doing what they do. So the way in which their body, the mechanics of their body, operate, how they're built, especially to do this, right? We sometimes, I think, just in general, pop culture, take that for granted. Oh, they ran this, they ran that. They train, they work at it. And again, they are pushing the limits, right, of human capabilities. When you go to a track meet and you actually see like a guy do a high jump and stuff, you think about the capabilities of the human body in a different way. It's actually a beautiful sport. And I really want to emphasize that everybody, especially everybody in that final, we're good. Big up Talu and big up, see a young lady named from England. Oh my God, I love her. She has Jamaican parents. I'm looking at her face right now. They come in like fourth and fifth, and it's like almost like, oh, they weren't good enough. They were amazing. They're actually amazing because each of the ladies are the best in the countries that they come from, and sometimes the regions that they come from. So to look at them and to kind of, have to see one person win, one person lose is always very rough. And I think sometimes we have to give, wider credit to everyone who is putting in the work to do this. But again, thank you guys. Appreciate you. Kimo, good to see you. Ricky said, yeah, he liked her much better without the wig. I just said my personal opinion. She gonna do what she wants to do, as Sha'Carri will. But I really enjoyed just seeing her not really fussy. Of course, she kept the nails on, but just like kind of like focused on the task at hand. One thing that I liked is the sportsmanship. I was just gonna get to that. The sportsmanship between the Jamaican team, says Cosley. It demonstrated when they collectively congratulated. This is what she's talking about. You remember this picture when they ran over to her, hug her up, laugh with her. I think she was just shocked. You remember the shock on her face? Sha'Carri was genuinely shocked. But the sportsmanship, the Jamaican girls, I think, women handle themselves so well, and just as good sports, as Cosley say, without this idea that they would belittle her or be mad about losing. This is all in the game, baby. You win some, it's your day. Today may be your day, tomorrow may be mine. And I think it's a wonderful metaphor for life. You should be able to congratulate me when it's your turn, and I'll congratulate you. So when it's my turn, and I'll do the same when it's your turn. It's something that we have to learn, I think, in life. It's a good metaphor for life. Andrew adds, she's very attractive. I like how she handled the press. This time around, she got a lot more press training. I would agree with that. She looked much more comfortable in front of the camera. You see when she crossed, when she came out and the hands outstretched, she looked and she saw that she was in front of Sherika and Shelly. And when Sherika and Shelly look over and say, wait a minute, there was another person we didn't even worry about. They were so focused on their lanes and each other. They didn't even see her coming and how hard she was pushing. I really admire, just the joy. She was literally, I'm running around like, I can't believe I did this. I can't believe I beat some of the most fastest women in history, right? Up to this point, right? She ran the third fastest, top 5 of all time, third fastest at a world championship, right? Smoke. Remember, Florence Griffiths Joyner has the 10.49. Sha'Carri ran 10.65. She just improved totally to the point where it's like, wow, they as we said, the Jamaicans, I have to give it up to my ladies. They ran, they felt good. It was something that they could have, I think, pushed themselves a little bit more had she been in the middle. But it was her blessing to be on the outside lane. Let's read some of your comments. Welcome, everybody. Hit the like button, please. A lot of women like all that hair. Even men are wearing their hair very long, says Keith. Athletes should keep your hair reasonable for hygiene. Okay, got to keep it washed and fresh. Okay, very happy. She seems like she's maturing. Absolutely. Jamaica, then next Kenya. Okay. Girls are doing it, running. Go Jamaica, yes. Oh yes, the slow lady was from, not slow, just the regular human being lady that's not a world-class athlete, was from Somalia. When old girl took off on the starting block, she had to look over just to show how she could get set. And when she ran, it looked like her feet went backwards. It looked like she was going backwards because the people was going so much faster. Hey, Coach B, the CEO. Good afternoon to Miss AKA Lady. Good afternoon. I want to do a quick live right after this for my Patreon community. I went to the Renaissance concert with Beyonce, and it was like a totally different experience than what I anticipated. I want to give my feedback on that. If you haven't gone to see the show, Beyonce is doing the Renaissance World Tour. She stopped in Miami, and I want to give my for real take on that on my Patreon, which is my members only community, and it'll be fun. I'm also going out a little bit later, so can't wait to share some of that with you. Coach B, the CEO, says the mix male and female 4-4, yes, was 4x4. Yeah, was awesome. Yes, I enjoy watching that. The finish, where what's her name, Bowl from, I think, I don't want to say the wrong country, Switzerland, was ran down by the Americans, and it was just amazing. Sometimes, again, the the metaphors of life, that right now things can be going your way, and then in a second it could be going the opposite way, but then you can recover and get back going your way and get back to going how you want it to go. It's a beautiful metaphor. I love sports in terms of the life lessons and really the spiritual lessons it can teach us. Shout out to Scam Likely Show. Ebony X in the building. Good to see you. You want to hear about the concert? I think I'm just going to do it right after this. Give me about 20 minutes, and I'm going to do it right after this, Miss AKA Lady, because I'm supposed to be going out on the town a little bit later. So I want to do it before, just so I know I at least go live. So I will post it in my Patreon only group. Sha'Carri was running from the drug. You know what? I'm not going to be messy with you, Scam Likely. If you guys don't know what my Patreon group is, it is my fantastic group of supporters that contribute to my channel monthly, and I do special sometimes interviews. I got to get back into the interviews, but footage that is not available on my YouTube side, as well as just kind of one-on-ones, getting to know them and them getting to know me a little bit better. So shout out to all my Patreon members who are here, patreon.com/SuzetteSpeaks. But yeah, we'll be going live right after this. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Renaissance. Right now, talking about Sha'Carri. This is her moment. Sha'Carri backed up the talk, right? Hit us with a 100-meter championship, like never really anticipated. A time qualifier from lane 9. And my father, when I was talking to my dad about this, he was telling me it reminded him of Don Quarry. You guys know who Don Quarry is? He's I think in the 1970s, Jamaican athlete who also did not get a gold medal because he thought he was in the front, and then again someone from off to the side that he wasn't seeing in his periphery came and won the gold. So again, I want to give Sha'Carri her full credit, right? She won and put her best effort forward, and it was the best effort on that day for sure. Now I want to ask you, do you think she's the best female sprinter this year in track and field? She's most definitely the fastest, right? On that day, that time, no one else, right? Sha'Carri won it. And again, to see her maturing from where we met her first to now has been a pleasure to watch, right? And again, that's another beauty of this sport, right? The self-development, not only the physical self, but mental strength, right? Because that's what you need when you go through rounds and rounds. That's life coming at you again and again, and you try and you fail and you try and you get through. Some of the Dina Asher Smith is who I'm thinking about, the Great Britain sprinter. She always, again, is in like the top 5, but she still keeps coming back. I think she's won medals in the past, but when you are always just off the podium, 3rd place, 2nd place is always, you feel like, okay, I put something forward. I was looking at some of the medal hauls and how much they get. I think at the World Championships, I read online, I'm not 100% sure it's true, but the first place gets 70,000 US. I thought, okay, I can see it. You got to pay your coach, your athletic trainers or whatever, people who help you with the physio and all that. So you spend money, but I think top 8, the people who make the final all get a check from like 5,000 to 70,000, which is at least, I was like, well, there is at least some reward, although you do not get a medal, but the experience, I'm sure, is still worthwhile for many. Again, I'm thinking about Talu from Ivory Coast, 100-meter runner. There were so many good ones in that final. I kept looking, I'm like, these women are fast. All of them are. And then when you see one come, out as the winner, you think, oh, the rest of the people were slow. They were not slow. It just wasn't their day. Any given day, they say, someone can be, dethroned. So it was a pleasure to watch. I cried. I did share a little tear. when Sha'Carri came through. What do you guys think? Best sprinter of the year. Is that what you feel? Let me see. Ebony says she need more time in the big leads, but she did well. Yeah, she's young. This woman is 21. So we have to actually keep that in context. Ebony says, I do like the growth Sha'Carri is showing. Me too. Big up, Ebony. I do. I think it's hard to mature in front of a big, wide audience because guess what? You're just leaving your teenagedom. You're a college student For her, she grew up kind of rough, rough side of the tracks, if you will. Metaphor for, rougher upbringing. Grandma helped raise her at the time where she tested positive for cannabis. It was because she said her grandma had passed and she was going through a lot. This is a human being, right? At the time, 1920. So to think that she could handle the levels of pressure and disappointment of not qualifying for the U.S. team, and what you would say when somebody shoves a mic. Did y'all see the interview with Fred Curley? When Fred Curley lost. When Fred Curley lost his 100-meter semifinal and had to wait on time qualifications, and then he didn't qualify. They kept pushing him to say, "What happened, Fred Curley?" And the same Lewis Johnson was asking, pushing the mic up in his face. "What happened, Fred? What happened, Fred?" And he ended up cursing on national TV. It's like, I effed up. Like, after being asked repetitively, in the heat of the moment, they just walk off the track and then come over to Lewis to give their analysis of what happened. And then several people, I realized, a Thing Mo in 800, and then Sha'Carri after that semifinal, she didn't give interviews. Many declined it because it can put, doubt in your mind. You have to just leave it, again, metaphor for life. Leave it. Oh God, leave it and move on. What is ahead of us is greater than what is behind us. Cannot dwell. Got to move forward, right? So I saw more athletes kind of declining it as the days of the World Championships progress, because they don't want, the any doubt, right? The mental gymnastics that come with having to figure out the perfect thing to say right after I've lost or right after I've made a mistake, and all these other pressures. But she couldn't handle at that time, I think, with her emotional maturity levels. But now it looks like she's far more in control. Sha'Carri Richardson, and her growth has been quite profound, and some would even say astonishing. Just 2 years, right? A couple of years later, and she looks like a completely different person. She sounds like a more aware, self-aware, not worried about what other people say, not having to snap back at every time someone challenges you, looking for other people to blame or to jostle with. People are going to say what they say online, all that. But I hope she also makes some money, right? Because again, you win a purse for what comes about in terms of your top 9 finishes. Anybody who comes in the final of anything gets a check from the World Championships, but these athletes rely on endorsements as well to make sure they can live, right? A lot of people, I was reading that a lot of athletes work at like Home Depot. I'm talking about world class that represent for their country, because they're able to take off time and go practice and take off time and go compete. And Home Depot is very flexible about that. We don't think about that, the sacrifices that all the loved ones make, the spouses, the mothers, the everybody who love you. It is a team effort, and I love seeing everybody hug up afterwards. But we're talking Sha'Carri Richardson. Hey, what's going on? Suzette Speaks, our sprinter. Let's go. We're sprinters today. Yes, Talu, get a medal. I love her spirit. Talu in the prep room, they were showing in the back room before the 100-meter final. She was trying to make the girls laugh, just forming that camaraderie and trying to break the moment, right? Break the ice where everybody feels so like tense, and it's about to be our final, and we got to perform. We got to show up. It's now or never. Talu was back there kind of like, and she had lane 1. Very difficult to come from there. Yes, Miss AKA Lady says, I really like the growth all around. I saw her IG where she's helping to organize an athletic union. I love it. Yeah, she's come a long way in terms of her maturing and growth, right? Hey, Damon, good to see you. Ricky Thomas says the women were faster than the men. Okay. Let's see. Little Ernest says, now the real test is going to come with how long can she stay. It's one thing to get there. Amen. But then staying there, because everybody's coming for you. James Kerr, as we knew she was not a flash in the pan, but waiting for her to get her act together was painful. His words. Thank you for your honesty. Some people would definitely agree with you. But again, the highlight for me, we're getting there. Oh, boom, boom, boom. Thank you, Andrew. Sherika, let me tell you, Sherika had more in the tank. The way she ran the 100, I think she was watching Shelly. I think she pulled up. Y'all can argue with me. Pulled up a little bit towards the finish line and didn't run through 100%. She saw that she had already beat Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price and was like, got it. Well, she didn't see Sha'Carri over there in the corner, right? So I think it was Sherika's race that I think could have upset the champion, but it wasn't her day. It just wasn't her day. I think she does have it in her though. She Olympics, Paris Olympics gonna be fire. I don't think it matters. Nobody's number one forever, says Miss AKA Lady. She's already proven that herself to be great. That's a good point because it's hard. You see, that's why I think, especially like what Usain Bolt has done and others, to even think about keeping a title 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years. I was even looking at I think the Paulino in the long jump. She's 4 times in a row, 4 years in a row, the world championship. You know how hard that is to do with the level of competition, around you? That is extremely difficult to stay healthy enough, to stay mentally tough enough to train at such levels that you can maintain and beat everybody in the world. That's not like, again, to do it once is amazing. Yes, you agree with me. Said she did, Suzette. She pulled up at the end and she didn't see the outside lane. She never saw Sha'Carri. I think, again, it could, if she ran through, if Sherika Jackson had run through full out her 100, we might have seen a different outcome. Not saying that Sha'Carri is not worthy of her praise and her flowers, right? But I just know what I observed. This was the picture I loved the most. When I saw Shelly-Ann Fraser taking selfie. Look how I'm happy, and they're happy for her, right? I know, again, this online rivalry of Jamaica versus America can be very intense, but again, it's all in good fun. This is a sport, right? People are going to talk crap, especially Jamaicans. We love a little spiciness in our races, a little sauce. Come for me now. I'm going to come for you, right? Prove it. Show me. It's not about a personal attack. And I don't think, especially in American culture, maybe it was translated well. It seemed like Jamaicans were, quote, coming for her. No, we're going to talk smack a little bit on the track side. That's a part of the sport, right? Love that picture. I think there was another one as well. I love it. They were having their moment, right? They were having, Sha'Carri was front and center. Yeah, is it 36? Oh, wow. Big up Shelly, medal at 36 second in this race on this day at 36 years old. So, yeah, I have to give her props. All the ladies in that race, top 3 or not, were phenomenal. Phenomenal. And so we see the new champion crowned. Will she be able to keep it again? We'll see. To do it in Tokyo, we'll see. Yeah, the situation. Miss AKA Lady said they almost causing a civil war, right? What happened to Black unity? It was so much country pride. Americans got this, and Jamaicans think they that, and whatever. It's never personal. It's sports. But we're going to tip our hat to the fastest woman in the world this year. It took her running a personal best. This is the fastest she has ever ran in her career to date, 10.65, to do it. We are going to big her up and give her flowers. That was an amazing race. And again, is she the best this year? Well, we're going to get to the 200. But before I do, hit the like button, you guys. Come through. Come say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. I am just here talking about the World Championship. Suzette Speaks live on YouTube as well as on our co-host, Jamaicans.com. I want to talk about Mr. Watson. He also won his 400 meter, right? Because 2 people drop out of that 400 meter. We'll talk about it real quick. I just want to highlight a couple others. And again, thank you for 5,000 on the YouTube side. Please support if you can. You know what the Cash App is, $ Suzette Speaks. Again, everybody showing love. Like, comment, and share the broadcast. And again, I want to hear what your feedback is on some of the other top races. This gentleman upset in the 400. Why? Oh my gosh, the gentleman from Bahamas that went down. He would have been fastest all year. 2 people in that in the same semi went down in the 400. But when they say one door closed for one, another one open. And again, thank you so much on the Cash App. I appreciate you showing love. Big up Thank you, wonderful 34 on the Cash App, showing love and support. Again, I'm demonetized at the moment. Sorry, YouTube and I are not on one accord, but I should be able to reapply. Oh God, in October they said, in October. So I really want to thank everybody who is showing love and showing support for the broadcast and donating to the channel, and I really, really, really appreciate you. Thank you, wonderful 34, for supporting on the Cash App. Wow, and again, big up the nutrition lawyer for sponsoring yesterday's broadcast. Big up my sister. Go over to Nutrition Lawyer Support. Thank you for your wonderful contribution as well, sponsoring yesterday's 5,000 sub show. So back to Mr. Watson. Amazed us enough. I'm talking about ran out his life when it come to the 400. I'm talking about he came from like a middle of the pack. And when I say run, run, boy, run. That was me yelling at the TV, run. And when he became victorious, oh my gosh, it was sweet. I love running. I love running. I do like running, but I can't run that fast. I always think about it. If I hadn't migrated with my parents to the United States, would I have been involved in sports? Because it is almost it's compulsory, actually, not almost compulsory. It's compulsory in terms of the physical, what can I say, sports days in Jamaica, school culture. That's a part of like what Americans would call field day, and going to do different, events and stuff. It's on another level when it comes to the sports days. And you have house colors in Jamaica, which is like team red, team blue, team yellow, team green. But you say you're a house of, and you pick your athletes to go from, this is from elementary school, y'all, into what race for your house green, house blue, whatever, and go into, the 100-meter dash, and you guys are going to do the relay. It is a cultural, from you are little, phenomenon that goes with being a school child, right? In school age child in Jamaica. So I think about that sometime. When I have been involved much more in sports. I played sports in high school here, actually, volleyball and basketball. Enjoyed it. Not at these levels, guys. Was trying my best to do what I could, right? Just staying in shape. But it's interesting to think sometimes, because my body is definitely a sprinting body. I'm definitely built like my homegirls. But yeah, it's just interesting to see one who is nurtured and cultivated with their physical gift, what it looks like to be at the best levels. And the men were representing too. Big up everybody. Yes, that was pure spirit. I feel you felt it. Yes. For Sherika, should have run straight across the line. My thoughts, Melody. I felt the same way, doll. Yeah, she should not ease up. That's why she edged her at the line. Anybody who's watching the 100-meter final for the women could see Sherika was not still on gas mode. She had break. She had taken a pause and ease up because she saw she had beat Shelly already. If she had gassed her away, listen, they coming for Flojo's record. They coming for it. So I'm not surprised. It did bother me a little bit because I thought Sherika could have done that, bro. Sherika could have done that. Big up also to the was it 100-meter hurdler? 100-meter hurdler, who also came out on top on the Jamaican side. Again, not partial, but I'm gonna highlight a couple people because it's hard to do this. At this level, and to actually, sorry, I forget her name. Let me get her name. 100-meter hurdle. Make sure I say the right name. I don't want to. Boom, bam, bam. On the women's side. Oh, goodness. If we're going to drop our name for me in the chat, please. Drop our name, please. 100-meter women. I'm out here Googling, guys. I'm sorry. Her name just slips me. Finals. Doom, bop, 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 bop. Oh, yeah. Because she edged out. I remember her competitors. Why they want to give me 5 videos. Danielle Williams. Oh, God. Thank you. Danielle Williams on the 100-meter hurdle. Thanks, Danielle. Great performance as well. They pushed. Let's get to the 200, y'all. and I'm gonna get out of here. Let's get to the 200. I felt the same way, Melody. The 200. Danielle Williams, Sports Day was a big thing, says Ebony. Let's go. Yes, it's huge. It's huge. Even in my family reunion, we do a sports day. Like that's one of the days. The Saturday is we break up the family, try to separate the guys, the older people into different teams as well. All different age groups, and we have house blue, house orange. We are serious about our sports day. We play volleyball, we do relay races. It's big, especially when the reunion is in Jamaica. Oh God. Yes, Yad Swag say yes, I remember about them sports days. It was not a joke. It was not a joke thing at all. It was real competitive. Um Yes. Black Lexicon says it was beautiful sight seeing Black women believe in herself, seeing a Black woman believe in herself and push all the way through. 100%. Yes. Great time is an understatement. Yeah. Athena, big up Athena. Athena says, I'm very pleased to see Black women bigging up another Black woman who bested them that day. That sportsmanship was the best thing. No hard feelings, no grudge, no upset, and bad attitude. That's not how we build. Jamaicans don't even do that, right? You might be disappointed that you lose, right? But you congratulate, you celebrate. That was her day, and they did just that. Big up Shelly-Ann, Fraser-Price, and big up Sherika Jackson for showing that love, right? Mutual respect, hugging her like you did it. It's beautiful. I think she was so shocked, and it was a pleasure to watch her respond to their embrace. It was really great. Let me see. Let's go say there are Black men who love and support Black women. We aren't all dead yet. I love it. I know there are. It says, please take some talk some more about Mr. Watson. There's something interesting about him. Hint. Oh, really? Boys Championship. I'm gonna drop the link. And if you guys, especially if you know about more details about each of these races, I'm gonna join the conversation in the chat, right? And the link that's next to it, you can click on it. You don't have to show your face, but it'll be like a Zoom. You'll come right up on the broadcast here and talk to me. So if you want to add L. Steve McLean to some of what I've shared, please come through. I've dropped the link. I would love to hear what you have to say because I don't know everything about everybody. But I am, a person that I was working and watching from 1 to 4 each day live because I hate when people ruin it on social media, and I cannot stand watching replays. I like to watch it as much as I can when it's live because it's sweeter. It's like I rewind it, I go over it again, and I see what technically happened. Yes, support in action and in words. Yes. Everybody say I'm cheering for everybody Black. That's how she feels. Yes. Let's go. Boys champs and girls champs are big in Jamaica. Exactly. I think athletes that come from Jamaica who have these experiences of boys champs and girls champs, that's like the national competition of everybody. Every school age child who is won and qualifies goes to the national stadium and competes. That thing is like Olympics on its own. The atmosphere of boys champs, as I've heard it described, is electric, to say the least. It is overwhelmingly like, if you could take the pressure of champs, and these are kids, 15 and under, 16 and under, you ready when you get to college in the US, you ready when you turn professional at 18, you have an idea of what it's going to be like to perform on, world stage, right? And that happens from school age, high school years. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it, Lou. Glad you're here. Again, I've dropped the link. You can hit the link in the chat. Just look in the chat, go to the chat button, the comment section, and you can hit on that link and come on up and let me know what you think. Live and direct. You don't have to show your face. Just keep your camera off. Yes, Ebony X telling you, big up all the Black men that love Black women. Chris says, both her and Simone Biles overcame some challenges and are now doing great. Don't you love it? We need more examples like this for the Black community. Everybody want a rosy path. Help me, oh God. You're going to experience difficulties because it's called life. But I think sometimes we overemphasize talent, but what we really need to emphasize is resilience and teach both adults and children how to build their capacity in the resilience category, because losing, I did a speech, y'all go on my YouTube channel. I did a speech years ago for a 5th grade graduation where I highlighted this very concept about Michael Jordan, because the best basketball player has lost, I forget the actual numbers, but it was like 25 winning shots, 45, buzzer beaters. He had missed thousands of shots during the game. He had missed, all these things. You think of Michael Jordan, you think the best man ever to do it. And so everything must be on the up. No, there were definitely these down, valley moments, right? But we appreciate the peaks because we know what it's like to be in the valley, but we don't stay in the valley, praise God. We move, right? Life is an ebb and flow. It could be, again, my day today, but it might be your day tomorrow. And guess what? I know my day is coming back. So we got to keep that in mind. And I agree with you fully, Chris. I was fortunate in having females like that as peers, really. They were great assets and friends. We stay in touch to this day, married or not. Okay, don't cross the border. I've been having this conversation about who people keep as friends when they marry, but we'll keep it moving. Tina, anxiety sets in for me way too much to watch it live. You need to know what happens. I am in the moment. I'm on the race. I'm like in the track with them, on the track with them. I'm like, no, run. I'm like, come back. Like I am giving you think Otto Bolden, who is one of the main commentators for NBC Sports, Sonia Richards-Ross, y'all can't comment on a race like me, baby. If I was in that booth, why? I enjoy it so much. Ebony says they were amazing under 20 athletes waiting in the wings. Hi, yeah. Hey, SWP Disciple, what up? Black Lexicon adds there were no competition for the girls. We all respected. There was no competition for the girls. We all respected and praised who liked who. Absolutely. I love it. Yep, that's the saying. RM says we should all embrace the mantra. Difficulties are dope. Listen, it's very hard to do. People get nervous. Oh, okay. Big up the long jumpers. Also, Pinnock, I think is his name. The two long jumpers. One came, I think, second, and one I think finished. Did they finish the second and third? Long jump finals, y'all. I think it was two of them that got medals, or one came second and one came fourth. One I remember named Pinnock. Make sure I say the names right. Lord have mercy. They're both Arizona Razorbacks. They went to college here, having grown up in Jamaica. There we go. Yeah, one came in fourth. Big up, Mr. Let me make sure I say it right. Yes. Wayne Pinnock came second in the World Championship, and his Arizona Razorback brother, as well as Jamaican brother, also came fourth. Good for him. Kerry McLeod. Big up the gentleman on the long jump. Long jump was really actually interesting this World Championship. I watched most of it. So yeah, it was really good. Thank goodness. We got long jumpers coming through too. Let's go. And the boys definitely represented. Silver medalist, fourth place. Again, sometimes you say, oh, fourth place, that's nothing. Oh, no, they work hard. And again, there's a purse, there's a prize money for all the top 8 finalists when it comes to World Championships. So that's good. Yeah, let me see. People are, let me see, Miss AKA Lady, let me read your comment. She says, I believe in putting out the same energy you wish to receive. Amen to that. The ability, I just read a fortune cookie that says something like, you thrive in service. And I thought, God, thank you for the reminder. The ability to be genuinely, and inspiration comes from everywhere, guys. But it just was a gentle, like, oh, yes, it does. The ability to be genuinely happy for others brings good vibes to you. That's a good way to put it, sis. I appreciate y'all. Salute, Great Pill. I see you. We're doing a little bit of a recap. All the wonderful athletes that were representing Team USA as well as Team Jamaica, looking back, trying to get the flowers where the flowers are due, right? And showing respect. But let's get to the 200 before I finish. Let me get to this queen. 200. What's up, wonderful 34? Thank you for the generosity on the Cash App. Again, if you want to support, thank you so very much. Hit the like button and please comment, please share. We've been talking about Sha'Carri Richardson's comeback, right? I wanted to make sure I end on this high note with my girl, Sherika Jackson. Bop, bop, bop. Let's go. That 200-meter final. When I say it was electric, but they couldn't even hang. It's almost like the 100 was in there from the cart, right? They showed the golf cart that takes them from underneath the stadium to the prep room to them walking out the tunnel. It was great coverage. I watched all of the detail. And I love to see again how you have to prepare yourself from going from out of the stadium to the warm up area to getting your body ready and your mind ready to turn on. This is the moment. And several of the heats, especially in the 200, they would run a quarterfinal and then an hour later the semifinal. So imagine having to prepare and restore the body and the mind, getting ready for the racing back to back. This is not a joke, y'all. This is again world-class level athletics. But when I tell you, Sherika, take off and started down that curve, I was like, they can't catch her. Big up Gabby Thomas, who you see on the side there, and big up Sherika Jackson. Big up oh my goodness, Sha'Carri Richardson coming in third. But Sherika won by almost a second, like a full second, which in sprinting is unheard of. That type of gap hasn't been done since Allison Felix back in, like, I think it was like 207 or 2009, right? The distance Sherika Jackson put between her and her closest competitor, man. You see, when she finished the 200, you got to ride in the curve and then come back straight on the 100. Now, Sherika Jackson did start as a 400-meter runner. That's why I think it's amazing to see with the longer full lap, 400 meters, a full lap of the track. Now she was running half lap and then the 100. But that endurance and strength that she gained from starting off as a 400-meter runner, when I see her hit that corner, baby, in the focus, she didn't make the mistake and didn't run through the end this time. You see, when she turned the corner, I was like, go there, girl, go there, girl, go there, girl. I was like, run, Sherika, run. Sorry, my Jamaican accent comes out when I get into the track. Baby, they couldn't hold me. I was literally standing up and jumping up and down, feeling it. It was just so beautiful. And I'm telling you, Gabby Thomas is not slow. Gabby Thomas, when she goes against the Jamaicans, she's there on the left of the screen for the USA. You see, when she run, she looked easy when she was easy breezy when she does the US qualifying, you know, when it's the US national team qualifying, because nobody really comes close to her in the US. But when she gets on international stages and she has to run against Jamaicans, Gabby Thomas, first I ever see grimaces on her face like that. Her face make up her body pushing. She's like, oh my goodness gracious, I gotta get out and run. You gotta earn this, baby, when the Jamaicans touch it. She cannot just, you know, she will be out there pushing on a different level when she's running internationally with the Jamaicans. I just see a whole different athlete come out. And then, of course, Sha'Carri came through with the bronze. But this lady, big up Sherika, she made up in her mind this wasn't going to happen twice. A running. You see, she also took off the wheel. Natural. Let's go. Take off the wheel. Got everything. Said, Beck, it's all about the track today. Me and this track. And right there from the middle, woo, blazed down the track. This was poetry in motion for me to watch her run that 200. First, back-to-back 200-meter women's world champion since Merlene Ati. Big up Merlene Ati for those who know Jamaican track history. Man, this was beautiful to watch. It gave me goosebumps. Happy for her. Sha'Carri came back over to her, hug her up big. It was beautiful. Lots of sportsmanship, lots of camaraderie. Yes, as you say, donkey length. That's a Jamaican colloquialism for how far apart, super far. Donkey length. Nobody could catch Sherika. Sherika was on that. So I could imagine if she ran full out all the way through the line on the 100, what could have happened, but it was not her day. Yes, I'm going to go to the 4x1. The 4x1 is sweet too. Did the U.S. qualify, Ebony X? I know they had a baton exchange that was in question. People had protested because it didn't look like, was it TT Terry was handing off to another lady, and it didn't look like maybe it wasn't crossed into the U.S. Lady's third leg hand before the end of the zone. It's like she slowed down and then the cross. I don't know. I had to look at see if you have qualified for the finals. Really? Gabby Thomas's grandfather's Jamaican? I did not know. Good for her. She also is in med school, Gabby Thomas, while she's running. which is amazing. Just a fantastic crop of individuals. That final picture, let me put up the picture. This here made me smile, right? Again, respect from one another, love for one another, celebrating one another. I just enjoyed those moments. Yeah. Gabby Thomas looked like she was about to pass out. When she's like working and she's tall, right? Her knees come further up, but when she get her arms into it, she moving. What you think? Oh, Wonderful 34 says Sha'Carri doesn't have the endurance. Okay, but you know what I would say? The legs freshness makes an impact, right? When you are doing the rounds and you run the 100, you run the 100. That's why it's so incredible when people can win both the 100 and the 200, because all that you exert, all that power and effort and energy that goes into running the rounds and running the 100 first, then you have to turn back around and run the 200. It puts a lot of strain on the body, so it's not very easy to do. So endurance, I do see your point there, Wonderful 34, because to run all those rounds, 3 or 4 rounds to the final, pull it all out there, leave it all out there on the final round, and then come back and run the rounds to the 200 and then put it all out there on the line. The last round and the final of the 200 is really difficult. It absolutely is really difficult. So you do have to have a certain level to run these races in the 7-day time. There's not no recovery. They recover. Sometimes I said that the rounds were going 2 in 1 day. So then to have like a 24-hour period come back and run was their recovery. Your body got to be in shape, world-class shape. Yes, that black girl ran like a woman and the wind. Yes, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Chris adds, may have a trophy when Merlin had to give me exactly quoting the song by Zebra. I see you. Yes, Gabby Thomas's mouth was open at the end. I think she was shocked at the time too, how fast they ran. Sherika is creeping up on Flojo's record time too. If she can stay healthy, I was like, can anybody break the Flojo records from it? What is that, 88? Can they break them? We're closing in on both of them. Flojo 10.49 in the 100. I forget her 200, but Sherika is like 0.0 of a tenth off of Flojo if she stays healthy. Man, Tokyo next year gonna be sweet to watch. Oh my goodness. Last call on the panel. You guys know that I do some commentary over on Roland Martin. I talked about this at length. Join the conversation. I'm dropping a link in the chat. If anybody wants to give their final thoughts on Sha'Carri or on any of the races, the gentleman who won the Mr. Watson, Antonio Watson. If you want to talk about Danielle Williams in the 100-meter hurdles, we still got 4x1 relay. I still think they do 4x4. And this was the commentary I was giving on the Roland Martin show. I'm on live on Roland Martin is one of the most prolific Black journalists, or just journalists in general, we could say, here in the U.S. And he has his own channel, over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. Check out the Roland Martin channel. Just look him up, Roland Martin. And I do commentary on a show called The Culture every Wednesday from 3 to 5 live. So I was talking about the races and what I saw after the 100 on that show, which was a fantastic kind of show since. But yeah, check me out, guys, on the YouTube side. I've enjoyed talking with you. Anybody want to come up, let me know now. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. Got to go watch that 4x1, and I'll be live this afternoon with my Patreon folks, just talking about the Renaissance concert and what I saw in Miami and what I really thought about the show. I got to give my honest opinion to my patrons, and that is my exclusive members only group, right? Not on YouTube, not things I can't say here, but I just got to, get off my chest. But yeah, catch me on Roland Martin's network. If you're on the Facebook side, like I said, please hit the like button. And you can come over to the YouTube side and join my channel. Just hit subscribe. Right? It's free. Once you have a Gmail, you have a YouTube. So look at the YouTube app and look up Suzette Speaks. Just look at my name, and you'll be able to find my channel. I did fantastic couple shows this week, and I will be back at it in action. So would love to have you over as a part of my community on YouTube. So check me out. I also have an Instagram. You can look me up, Suzette Speaks, and Facebook as well. Threads, I guess I have to add that too. And yeah, I definitely enjoy connecting with people and just giving, social commentary on any and everything. But I appreciate you rocking out with me today. If you want to contribute a donation to the channel, you know what to do. I appreciate you. I'm not monetized on the YouTube. I can't get super chats. I'm off of monetization till October. But if you want to show some love, if you enjoy the content, as much as we enjoy putting it out there for you, I enjoy putting it out there for you. I appreciate all those. Thank you again, Wonderful 34, for being a sponsor of today's show. If you're watching Team Replay, you know what to do. Hit the like button. Come through. And let me know you're watching. And then I'll be live a little bit later on with my Patreon community. If you want to find me on Patreon, just go to patreon.com/Suzette Speaks. Again, my YouTube channel, you guys know it, youtube.com/C. Right. I'm happy that all of you are here and celebrated this wonderful just time of track and field with me. You can always, like I said, reach out to me on Patreon. But what's next for Sha'Carri? What y'all think? What's next for Sha'Carri? You think she has more in the tank? Will she be ready and shining like this at Tokyo? Hey, excuse me, Tokyo. Paris. Lord God, next year Olympics will be in Paris. Hear me, Tokyo. I have Tokyo in my mind. But yeah, you can check me out, guys, on the YouTube side. Clearly, I needed more sleep than I got. I'm tired a little bit today. But yeah, little Ernest is singing out from Atlanta, ATL in the building. Hey, the world class coming through. Good to see you. Have a great weekend. I appreciate you being here. Black Lexicon said, once and for all, she is the champion. Say it loud. She is the champion. That's all that matters. We're going to give her flowers. Big up Sha'Carri. Big up her effort. Big up all of her success as the first time, at a world championship. What she's done is actually incredible. So we're going to give her roses. Absolutely. Black Lexicon, as this was not about money for her. That is when you are at your best. Hello. Good insight. Thank you so much. The overcome run. Let's go. Appreciate you, Great Bill. Thank you, everybody, for coming through, showing love, watching, like, share, comment. And I'll see you guys next Saturday. Thanks again for hanging out with me. And I appreciate all your support. Be blessed. Talk to you soon.